So I've been thinking about it, and out of the 20 subscriptions that I got, my least favorite one that talks about wrestling is I would probably, even though he's probably one of my favorites too at the same time, because he was the first one I started watching, would probably have to be Monoxide because the guy, because, and I haven't seen too many of, and he hasn't really had a decent vid in a while. And he, I don't know, when he got into that feud with Jay South, I guess, that was pretty much, I was more on Jay South's side just from watching and that kind of stuff. I, but you know what? I still like him, like what he has to say and stuff like that. But as far as a shooter or something like that, especially when he went up against guys like Trueslayer, pretty much got buried because you can't beat a guy like him. You can't beat Crazy Mike or anyone like that. Those I think are the two smartest guys on there, and even LV. Sorry, I forget your name, dude. You make good vids. You made a good one just on PS Powers, pretty much exploiting him. But and about PS Powers, I don't hate his vids because he's different than a lot of you other people because he goes out there and he pretty much rants and destroys the WWE, and he makes some pretty decent points. And of course, sometimes he gets exploited and sometimes he doesn't. I don't really know. He says he's a TNA supporter, but I really don't hear him saying anything good about TNA. So I'm gonna, PS Powers, instead of you saying you're a TNA supporter, just say you're an anti-WWE fan. It works out better for you. That way you don't have people trying to destroy you, so to say. Because there's people on here that really hate you. I'm not one of them, though. And why do you watch wrestling? Jeez, let's see. I watch wrestling because I enjoy the talent that these superstars slash wrestlers have. I enjoy, especially like table, ladders, and chairs match and stuff like that. Like, how can a human being withstand that kind of punishment? That's what I'm wondering. Mick Foley, great example of it. If that Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker, how he got thrown off that cell and he dislocated his arm and continued through the match. Any normal human being would just say, fuck it. If Mark, as Mick Foley said, if Mark McGuire got struck by lightning on his way to first base and was knocked unconscious, they're not just going to play the game while he's lying there on the field. They're not going to continue the game. If Troy Aikman got knocked unconscious, they're not just going to play around him. They're going to get him off the field and then keep playing, And it's a different wrestling. If a guy gets hurt, he's going to finish the match, even if he gets severely injured. I mean, just look when Triple H injured his quad a couple years ago. That match against Jericho and Benoit. He continued the match, even though a normal human being would say, stop. Your mind. It's like, get down the ground, you're done. You can't wrestle anymore. That SummerSlam match with Angle, Austin, and The Rock. No, sorry. Angle, Rock, and Triple H. There was a part in the match where Triple H gave Angle a pedigree onto that table. Well, Triple H's footing slipped, and Angle knocked himself unconscious on the table. And he pretty much was told by Mr. McMahon, you better get out there and finish that match or we'll find someone else that will. So Angle barely walks down to the ring, but they used the storyline that Stephanie told him to get down there. And he basically finished the match. He doesn't even remember that match. I mean, you ask him to this day what he did in SummerSlam that year, he doesn't remember. Another example of that, WrestleMania 19, Angle vs. Lesnar. You had Angle, who was going into neck surgery after that match. Also, Brock Lesnar knocked himself out. really messed up his neck and couldn't even speak after the match. Him and Kurt, at the end of that match, both of them just could not move. Lesnar was talking like that, and you had, I think that's probably why I watch it. It's just that, how do these guys really do it? And that's what I gotta give my props for John Cena, because the guy has been at the top of his game for the past 4 years, basically, and has not got injured until recently. And you knew it was bound to happen. And I do agree with the LV guy. That's what I'm going to call you, because I don't know the rest of you. I know it's LV something, so I apologize once again. I agree with you when you say that PS Powers is out of line, basically, saying that Cena has to, should drop the title through a match. Because you know what? He's got injured. He cannot wrestle. Now, however, his kind of injuries, you can't wrestle through it. However, if he had some type of neck injury or something like that, he probably could wrestle for not wrestle good. Well, we know that John Cena's not the greatest wrestler to begin with. So the chances, if he had some kind of a neck injury, he wouldn't wrestle anyways, because he'd totally mess it up. I mean, he's no Kurt Angle, like a guy that had neck problems in WrestleMania 19, and the biggest speculation was that match going to be any good, and it probably was one of the greatest. And Angle did not wrestle that match yet at a full percentage, basically, or at a 90% rate. He was at 55% going to that match. But he knew that they couldn't replace him right away because he was the champion. So he was the champion at the time, and him and Lesnar put on a great match. Even though Lesnar's not a great wrestler, he's okay. I mean, I think he's actually, I take that back. I think he's a damn good wrestler for a guy his size. He's 295 pounds, and he could wrestle just like the best, like Kurt Angle. He can move like him. Do the same kind of moves like him. So, for guys that get on here and rip Brock Lesnar, the guy, look at his size and look what he can do. That right there tells you. I mean, he's basically the same size as Batista, but he wrestles like Kurt Angle. Look at it like that. Or wrestles similar to a Kurt Angle, as Batista wrestles similar to, I guess you would say, like Albert, or even though Albert I don't think is that bad either, or like Big Show. And Big Show's a good wrestler for his size too. But Batista's at the 300 plus pound mark. Undertaker's at 300 plus pounds, and he's one of the greatest. So I don't know. Basically, I mean, wrestling, these are the most talented professionals in the world, basically. No other professional could do this kind of work that these guys do. And it's not like football where you get you get a third of the year off. They have to do it every night. And yeah, some guys do get vacations, but usually they get vacations because of injuries or stuff like that. And the only guys that get vacations are your guys that Mr. McMahon pretty much is obligated to give them to. Like Kurt Angle, he never really got any vacations. How often did you not see Kurt Angle on your TV set on wrestling? And that's one of the main reasons why he left WWE, because he needed some time. He needed a part-time job, so he took a job over in TNA. And they gave him that push that he deserved. He should be the top guy, because he is the top guy. And even though, so yeah, this is that's what I believe. Just the whole thing with TNA. I haven't watched it in a while, but I like Kurt Angle. He's still good even today. I've heard that the TNA thing hasn't been going so good. Even Bill and Doug came out here and gave them a message. So yeah, this is Mad Doug 2001. I know I went on a little rant about wrestling and that kind of stuff, but it needed to get out there. And stay tuned. I'm going to have a Kurt Angle Greatest Moments video